Let's have a heart-to-heart before we get into the specs. For the last century, we've defined soul in a car by the smell of unburnt fuel, the vibration of a crankshaft, and the specific way an exhaust note echoes off a canyon wall. When the electric revolution started, we were told those things were obsolete. We were given fast cars, sure, but they were sterile. They were like high-speed elevators, efficient, impressive, and utterly boring. But today, I'm standing next to something that feels like a glitch in the matrix. This is the 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 6N. It shouldn't work. On paper, it's a heavy, battery-powered sedan, but in reality, it might be the most important performance car of the decade because it finally admits that driving is supposed to be a theatrical performance, not a commute. Look at this thing. The standard Ioniq 6 was designed to be the most aerodynamic car on the road, looking like a pebble smoothed over by a river for 1,000 years. But the N engineers took that pebble and gave it teeth. For 2026, they've refined the aero even further. You've got these active air flaps in the front that look like they belong on a fighter jet, cooling the massive battery pack while managing drag. The widened fenders give it a touring car stance that makes the standard model look like a toy. And that rear wing, that's not just for show. It's a Swan Neck design that creates actual usable downforce when you're pushing 140 miles per hour on the back straight of a track. It's polarizing, it's loud, and it's weird. In a world of safe car designs, Hyundai is out here taking massive risks, and I am absolutely here for it. The magic starts the second you sit down. Most EVs want to be a living room on wheels. They give you a giant iPad and a steering yoke and tell you to relax. Not here. The Ioniq 6N wraps around you. These bucket seats are thinner and lighter for 2026, dropping your center of gravity even further. But let's look at the steering wheel, the nerve center. You have two dedicated N buttons that you can map to your own personal chaos levels. You can set one for daily driver and the other for end of the world. And then there's the red button, N Grin Boost. It sounds like a marketing gimmick until you press it, and the car dumps an extra 40 horsepower into the motors for a 10-second window. It's like the push-to-pass button in IndyCar, and it's addictive in a way that should probably be illegal.
Now, we have to talk about the fake stuff, because this is where the internet usually starts screaming. This car has an NE shift. It uses the electric motors to simulate a dual-clutch transmission. It creates gear ratios. It creates a red line. It even creates a physical jolt in your back when you upshift. And the sound? Through the N Active Sound Plus system, it pumps out a roar that sounds like a cross between a turbocharged four-cylinder and a futuristic spaceship. Is it fake? Yes. Is it glorious? Also yes. Here's the secret. Without these cues, your brain has no context for speed in an EV. In a Tesla, you're just doing 90 miles per hour and you don't feel it until you hit the brakes. In the 6N, you're connected to the machine. You're working for it. You're downshifting into a corner, hearing the pops and bangs from the external speakers and feeling the weight transfer. It turns a boring electric drive into a sensory overload. It's a fake experience that feels more real than most real cars on sale today. Under the skin, Hyundai hasn't just added software. They've re-engineered the platform. The 2026 model features an upgraded 84 kilowatt-hour battery with a revised chemistry that handles heat better than any EV I've ever tested. You can do lap after lap at the Nürburgring without the car pulling power to protect itself. They've added world record championship-inspired integrated drive axles to handle the 545 pound-feet of torque, and the braking system uses massive 400mm discs with high-friction pads. But the real genius is the N Drift Optimizer. It's a suite of sensors that balances the torque between the front and rear motors in real time. If you want to be a hero and get the tail out, the car won't fight you. It will actually help you maintain the slide. It makes you look like a pro drifter even if you've never turned a wheel on a track in your life. But here is the clickbait truth that people don't talk about. This is still an Ioniq 6. When you turn off all the N modes and put it in Eco, it's as quiet and refined as a luxury limo. You get the 800-volt architecture, which means you can go from 10% to 80% charge in about 18 minutes. You have a heat pump for cold weather efficiency. You have all the safety tech that keeps you in your lane and stops you from hitting things. It's a 641 horsepower monster that can also take your grandmother to the grocery store without her ever knowing she's sitting in a land missile. That duality is what makes it better than a dedicated sports car. You don't have to suffer on the way to the fun roads. The car transforms with you. Let's be real for a second. If this car had a Porsche badge or a BMW M badge on the hood, it would cost $150,000 and people would be calling it the greatest achievement in automotive history. But it has a Hyundai badge, and because of that, it's going to be overlooked by some people. That is a massive mistake. Hyundai's N division is currently run by people who actually love driving. They aren't trying to make the most efficient car, they're trying to make the most exciting one. The 2026 Ioniq 6N is a shot across the bow of the European giants. It's faster than a Taycan 4S, more engaging than an i4 M50, and it costs significantly less. It is the ultimate giant killer of the electric age.
If you're someone who said they would never buy an EV because they're soulless, I have bad news for you. Your excuse just expired. The 2026 Ioniq 6N is the first electric car that I would actually spend my own money on. It's not just a transport device, it's an experience. It's a car that makes you want to take the long way home. It's a car that makes you look back at it after you park it. It's a car that proves the future of the enthusiast isn't dead, it's just changing frequencies. We're moving from the era of combustion to the era of computation, and if this is what the engineers can do with a few lines of code and some powerful motors, then I'm not worried about the future anymore. I'm excited for it. So, is it perfect? No. It's heavy, the styling is still going to start fights at car meets, and the range takes a hit because of those sticky tires and the aggressive aero. But none of that matters when you're pinned to the back of that Alcantara seat with a massive grin on your face. The 2026 Ioniq 6N isn't just a great EV, it's a great car, period. But I want to know what you think. Is the fake shifting a deal breaker for you, or is it the genius move that EVs have been missing? Drop a comment below because I genuinely want to argue about this one. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that subscribe button because we've got a lot more high voltage chaos coming your way soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.